think we also need to talk about technology now, and a lot of our relationships are the use of technology, Facebook, Twitter. A lot of it's no longer face-to-face. We don't even talk on the phone that much anymore. It's emails. So how can we use technology in this 21st century to help, build relationships in our congregations?
And that would be both inside and outside technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, Brenda, you are absolutely right.
So in the day of Facebook and Google and all the Twitters and so forth, how do those foster relationships or impede relationships, especially around the idea of gospel friendship or Christian love and concern? How do we do that in a technological age? I'm the old timer in the group, and I struggle with those issues, but at the same time, I rejoice in the way I can use technology sometimes too. So I think it's a two-sided thing.
I have a 21-year-old. She's a junior in college down in Texas, and she could easily make the choice. On any given Sunday, I'm not going to church today. She attends a local church there in Texas 90% of the time, but I find it very interesting that on those Sundays, for whatever reason, either because there's too much going on with class and assignments and all of that, she is streaming church into her dorm room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that tells you the impact
Mm-hmm.
the technology has in the 21st century church. Now, let me take it one other point, and let's talk about the evangelism part of that. Many of her classmates are unchurched, okay? And so if on a particular Sunday she does not make it to church, but she's streaming in either the congregation she's participating with there in the Houston area or her home congregation in Indianapolis, Indiana, okay? If there is a classmate in her dorm room and they're working on something and they didn't make it to church this morning, that is the evangelism piece, And so, one of my challenges has been or is, how do I get congregations to understand that technology piece, how important it is, and then begin to move in that direction. I think one other thing I want to add, and then I'll let it go back to the table. I think we cannot let churches cop out of the technology piece based on their size. I think it does not matter what size congregation you are, you can do some type of technology.
And for me, I think the new social medias are a paradox. I think they're a good tool that we can use in terms of keeping in connection with people, and even driving events, talking about things, responding to questions. But I think we can't go the way of websites. I think 10 years ago it was websites. Every church needs a website. And so churches put up websites and never kept them current.
Right.
So there was just a picture of the pastor and her husband, or the
former pastor.
Right, or the former pastor, in an event that happened 3 years ago. So it's like, if you're going to use it, that's a tool for communication and to keep up with people, like sending them happy birthday kind of announcements or whatever. But I think, with social media, we're more connected than ever, but I think we're also more disconnected than ever. And the thing that you talked about is not going to happen. That community, and I think that's where the church has something that the world wants. That there's something about being around this table with you, having this human interaction that I think churches can provide. And I think for a lot of us, me included, we went around telling people they needed to train their ushers, and you needed to have people greet people in the parking lot. And the focus really was to help people become friendly. We're a friendly congregation. I think what's happening is that people aren't looking for churches to be friendly. I think people are looking
Friends.
for us and our churches for friends.
Yes.
And so I think as long as those social medias help us develop those deeper relationships within the church, I think they're very helpful. But then you have to keep up, because Facebook and Twitter, if you're looking at a younger generation, they're not using that as much. So you're almost kind of keeping up with it. Not that we shouldn't, but as a tool for creating really authentic biblical community, I think. So how do we meet that paradox?
I went to worship at a church, and the pastor said everybody take out their cell phones, and I thought maybe somebody's cell phone had gone off and he was upset. But he said, okay, now I want you to text somebody and ask them what you want them to pray for you, what you want, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. How can they pray for you? How can you pray for that person? And so I was sitting there thinking, what if that would be powerful if we asked our members to go out in the community and to meet people and say, okay, on Sunday morning I'm going to be in church and I'm going to text a prayer. What can I pray for you for? Just to do that connection with that person.
Yeah. That's creative thinking, and I think that's what we have to do.